Hey guys, welcome back. We're out in the garden. It's beautiful out. It's upper 50s. It's a fall day. It's about middle towards the end of October. By the time this comes out, it'll be closer to the end of October. Now, being that our frost date was about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, we are fast approaching a time where everything is we're going to hit a hard frost sooner than later. So we have a lot of stuff still in the garden, a lot of our peppers, some of our tomatoes, both red and green. Same thing with our peppers. We have our ripened and unripened. We have some squash. We've got I think we have some carrots still. We have some cucumbers, some green beans. We have a lot of stuff still out here that we need to get out and try to salvage before that frost hits. Now, once we get all that done, we're going to clear out all of the beds, get them all kind of situated for winter. And then lastly, we're going to pick our bed, we're going to amend the soil, and we're going to get our garlic planted. We have a brief overview of what we're doing. It's not going to be really in-depth process. You can check out those videos, but we will be doing a different type of amendment to the soil this time because we did have some issues with some rot and very small bulb growth. So I have a few things I want to try to combat that, not just here now, which you'll see in this video, but in the spring when we do our amendments and start getting things planted. I want to do a couple other amendments to the soil to kind of spark more growth in those garlic bulbs. So we're going to get started on clearing out the garden, and stay tuned to the end for the garlic planting, and let's get started. That actually went pretty quick. Just start ripping everything off. God, this smells great. All gonna be more hiding inside here. We'll say over 40. Over 40 tomatoes. They're all green, a couple ripe ones, but these are all things that will ripen inside. So this is normally one of those situations where I just do the best I can and kind of worry about it all in the spring, but I can't with this bed. This is the bed that I'm choosing to be our garlic bed in this year. So one of the things I have to do is, one, make sure we clear out everything. I want to make sure that there are no tomatoes sitting, nothing rotting. We have to clear out all the roots. I have to get something in here to kind of till up the soil, fluff it up because it has sunk quite a bit. And you can see there are a lot of roots in here. So I have to sift through with a compost fork, kind of go through and make sure this is all broken up because garlic does not like to have competition when it's growing. Everything that is in here is buried. We're going to top dress it with some of the other compost, maybe from one of the other beds, make sure it's full. So I may take some of the nitrogen rich soil from the beans in the bed over here, place it as a top dress on this bed, fluff everything up, and then I'll do my fertilizer, and we'll be using sulfur this year, but I'll get into that as soon as we start planting. So that's gonna be it for this. We're gonna move on to the next thing. My favorite thing, this is probably gonna take a couple days to actually get all this harvested. These are all Carolina Reapers, and they're all in perfect condition. I got a few green ones here that it's unbelievable. And then on the other side, I got ghost peppers. I have tons of green ghost peppers. I got tons of green Carolina Reapers, especially over here. You might have the 20 or 30 ghost peppers on here, the Carolina Reapers, but they're really small. But overall, it did well. I mean, this one did amazingly. I've already pulled and started working. I'll leave a link to those recipes. I've already started doing this, but there's so many more here. There's so much here. I don't even know what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to have to just dry them and then see if I can work them into recipes, rehydrate them, and do that kind of stuff later, reconstitute them. But then I've got They said 30 to 40 is on average what you get. I don't know what I have. I want to count them. But this is a gallon bucket. And keep in mind, I've already harvested about 8 to 10. Or 12. I've harvested about 12. And it's not 30 to 40 or 40 to 50. So 12, and that would be 128 Carolina Reapers off of one plant. Two more. Different size. I pulled another 35. So 35, 160, approximately 160 gallon bucket. And you can see it's almost completely full. Now we're moving on to our ghost peppers. We did have one branch break off, so we're gonna get all these ghost peppers off. Probably about 30 or 40, but they're mostly green. So we'll have to let these ripen inside. Now we're gonna move on to our Scotch bonnets. Not too bad. This actually grew really well from seed. And I was able to get, I think it comes out to be like 6 plants, which is great, except for the actual number of cayenne peppers I'm actually getting from this is a ridiculous amount. So I do not think I will be growing cayenne peppers next year. I don't think it'll be necessary based on how much I have left over here. And continue on with our peppers. We're moving over here because inside here I have more cayenne peppers. And our bananas. We have been taking all of our bananas and using the pickling recipe, the refrigerator pickling recipe, and making pickled banana peppers. And I've been tossing a Scotch bonnet in with them. It is absolutely amazing. We've gone through so many jars of that already. Now we're getting into jalapenos. We've been making cowboy candy with what we've got, and it's amazing stuff. Maybe that's something that will come up with this batch. I'll make a batch of that for you guys, show you how to do that as well. What do we got here? This has been leaning over. What do we got on here? Oh, we got poblanos. Some good sized ones too. It's this one. Nothing there. Oh God, look at these yellows. These are called sunbrights. Tons of them. Last over here are red mercuries. We got some that are turned and some that are turning. So yeah, this one is all set. We'll probably eat that tonight. And the rest of these just need a little bit of time. So all of those, that's all the peppers. Wait, no it's not. I have a few more over here. Peppers in, but let's see what I can get for tomatoes. I don't have a whole lot. A lot of this stuff is rotten. So we're gonna end up taking everything out, probably taking the top layer of soil out before next year. Otherwise we're gonna have a lot of random tomatoes growing in here. But I wanna get the big ones first, the green ones. Then we're gonna move on to our tomatillos. But that looks like it is. There's maybe a few, maybe not 8, 9, what appears to be a lot of tomatillos. So we're gonna go through. It's basically, if we can feel that they're kind of filled out, we'll pull them. Some are more ready than others. A lot of these, they're like almost like paper lanterns, and there's nothing inside, or there's very little inside. But we try to get as much as we can to try to do something with this. Now we're moving on to our onions. We got to get all of our onions out of here. Look at this guy. Just a bunch of onions. We've planted about 60 or so onions out here, intercrop or interplanting with our berry bushes. And we're pulling about 20 out right now. Overall, I'm pleased. As our first attempt at actually growing onions like this. We'll do it again next year, but we might designate a portion of a bed specifically for onions and nothing else. That way we have a decent crop. We will be top dressing this all in the spring with our compost, our purple cow compost that we get out at Stony Island. And with that top dressing, plus we'll be fertilizing it again in the spring, that should be more than enough to get us going.
We're going to level out everything to make sure that we don't have any major peaks or valleys where water could accumulate and end up causing the garlic to rot. Alright, and for our first variety for planting is going to be a Montana Zemo. It's a porcelain variety. It's going to be a lighter in flavor, a mild flavor, and a little buttery. And what we're going to first do is peel off each of the cloves off of the bulb. Doing our best to ensure that protective skin or protective layer remains on each one of the cloves. We're creating our hole, spacing our garlic cloves about 6 inches apart and about 2 to 3 inches deep. A little biotone in each one of the holes. Then we'll put the bulbs in, and then add soil acidifier to the top as I kind of spread it all around. Flat portion of the bulb goes in with the top. This is where it's going to sprout. This is going to be sticking up. We're going to go about 2 to 3 inches deep into the soil. And I have fertilizer in right now. Each one. Now we're going to be adding sulfur to the soil. This is going to help with the intake of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium into the root system. It's also going to help promote bulb growth and help fend off some of the rot issues we've had in the past. And now, with a little help, I'm going to repeat that process with the Chestnut Red. And the last one we're going to be planting is the Music. It's a porcelain variety. It's really spicy. You only get about 4 or 5 cloves per bulb, but it's really worth it. So we try to plant as many of these as we can.
You picking some stuff?
I'm not picking dirt. I'm planting garlic.
Using your hand?
Using my hand.
Not a lot.
It gets you in the face? Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. It's not done by any means. We still have quite a bit left to do. Mostly just finishing winterizing our perennials with our straw. I'm going to attempt to save our Carolina Reaper and our jalapeno plant back here so we have something that'll jumpstart next year. But that's going to be a future video, as well as the finalization of all the cleanup here, and I'm moving everything inside. But Everything is harvested. We've got everything sorted. Everything is ready to go. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Stay tuned for the next video where I finish all this stuff up. And thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.